Welcome back to this special edition of Cattlemen to Cattlemen as we come to you from our nation's capital. We're learning more about NCBA here in Washington and the work it does to protect the freedom to operate for cattle producing families all across our country. Let's check in again with Russell Nemitz. Russell?
Well, animal health issues are always top of mind for cattlemen and cattlewomen, and one of the big issues out there in this area is antibiotic use in our livestock. And we're going to cover that in today's segment here on Cattlemen to Cattlemen. That's because we're lucky enough to have Dr. Mike Apley from Kansas State University with us on the program today. And Dr. Apley, antibiotic use is certainly a big issue these days in the U.S. beef cattle industry.
It is, and it's a big issue for all the protein industries, including, of course, us in the cattle industry and also around the world. And one of the things we're finding is that not only are we heading towards a time when our antibiotic use will be more public and under close scrutiny, but also being compared to uses around the world. So it truly is a flat world.
Well, I think it's really encouraging to see the entire U.S. livestock industry taking on this issue head on and not trying to dodge any bullets, so to speak, and just trying to educate the public about the importance of keeping antibiotic use part of our day-to-day operations out there on our farms and ranches, and for good reason.
It is. We can protect the health of animals with them, and at the same time, we're responsible for being good stewards of the antibiotics. They're important for both human and animal health. Veterinarians and producers are very committed to keeping them both effective and using them safely and appropriately. It's called stewardship. And that's the next thing we're running into. We're starting out on the Presidential Advisory Council for Combating Antibiotic-Resistant Bacteria, or PAC-CARB. And the viewers could Google PAC-CARB and look at the live streams when meetings are happening, and also look at recorded streams of what we're doing. And we've just released a report on how we could stimulate new vaccines, new test development, and possibly new anti-infectives. And now we're heading off into defining stewardship in a One Health vein between both veterinary medicine and human medicine.
Well, you're a member of the President's Council on this issue. I mean, how important is it to have guys like you sitting around a table discussing this issue and trying to find workable solutions and answers and where we go into the future on this, and to have a president that is committed and makes this a priority?
It's incredibly important, and selfishly for me, it's been an incredible learning experience to meet new colleagues. Very, very successful in the human health side, working in antibiotic resistance and infectious disease, epidemiology, and we've learned a lot from each other and gotten ideas from each other, and I think that the council's a joy to work with. It's been very educational, I think productive.
Well, those of us in agriculture, we get used to working with agencies like the U.S. Department of Agriculture, and when we're in the livestock industry, the Department of Interior. But also, I mean, we've come to realize we have to develop a better cooperation and team effort with our friends at the Food and Drug Administration, especially on issues like this one.
Yeah, and one of the big examples has been, I think all our viewers would know about the Veterinary Feed Directive and the changes that started January 1, all of our veterinarians and producers. And so we've made it through that one, and adjustments and learning about each other and about the rules. And so one of the other things the FDA has done has been to support 2 cooperative agreements to allow us in the protein industries to start our own systems for monitoring antibiotic use. And I hold one of those. Along with Dr. Sandra Godden at University of Minnesota, and she's spearheading the dairy side and I'm spearheading the beef side. And we'll probably have data rolling out the first part of next year, our first sample data sets. And our view is, and it's shared by the industry, and the NCBA's been a big supporter also, is that we are best off to start our own system for monitoring that will allow us to compare our uses with each other and how we can improve and use them in the best possible way. And so we're working on that hard, and it's just one more way all of us in animal ag are working on it, addressing the issue.
Absolutely. Well, we look forward to seeing that data when it finally comes out, and thanks for all your hard work on this big issue for the entire U.S. livestock industry.
No, it's a pleasure to do it.
All right. Dr. Mike Apley with Kansas State University, thank you for joining us here on Cattlemen to Cattlemen. With that, we'll go ahead and send it back to you.